Today on the table I've got myself a Huawei Nova 3E. Now this one has a cracked screen on it, and what I've got here is in this jar to my top right is some isopropyl alcohol, and I've been having it on the heat pad just down below just to soften the adhesive, and then with the isopropyl that should cut through rather nicely. Now, I find the biggest dilemma of most modern phones for a screen replacement is getting the back cover off. Usually they're stuck in there that well that you have a fairly higher risk of breaking the back cover trying to get into it. So anyway, I'll have a bit of a battle with this, and I'll start speaking again once we get to the next section. I'll let it play out in real time just so you can see all the struggle to actually get into it, and I'll catch you in a sec. There we go, finally made some damage and I can finally get into it. Now we'll bring down my screw tray. Now this one does contain Phillips head screws, which are nice and straightforward. There's a little bracket here which covers the flex connectors and also the battery. So we'll need to take this metal bracket out first. We'll use a pair of tweezers. There we go, that just shot it out. There we go, and I'll remove the back cover completely. And now we have one phone to deal with here. Now proceed, remove the other cover. And the first thing I want to do once I get in here is disconnect the battery. And also just to simply compare the flex cables on this phone. That's probably one of the best things to do before pulling out your old screen. Make sure your new one has a similar connection. Now I will connect it up as well and just run a quick test on there to make sure I can get a picture on it prior to fully tearing the phone down. So even though you may have got brand new parts, there's still a chance that it might be no good. So it's worthwhile just spending an extra couple of minutes just to make sure you will get a picture on the screen. And at least then also if you do the test prior to swapping it over, you could send it back under warranty if there is an issue. So anyway, I'll continue with the rest of the install from here. So I'll disconnect the brand new screen, put it somewhere safe, and start removing the various connectors at the bottom here. So with the loudspeaker removed, I've discovered I don't have to fully disassemble the rest of the phone or even remove the battery to get the screen out. So I will attempt to pry it out. I think that's going to be pretty fruitful or fruitless. So what I'm thinking here is there's a nice gap at the back or where the LCD flex connector runs through. With a bit of luck, I should be able to apply some pressure from the inside and push the screen and pop it out. So this one has had fairly minor damage, or minor cracks, so it shouldn't shatter to a million pieces. And there we go. So yeah, you should be able to use a flat blade or flathead screwdriver from the inside and push that screen directly out. So nearly up to the next stage. First thing, we'll also recompare the various connectors. As you can see, my camera reflecting back there. A Xiaomi action camera, similar to a GoPro. Anyway, I'll now prep the frame of the phone. Just make sure there's no glass fragments. And then I'll proceed to put down some adhesive tape to stick it down. Right now I'm using some relatively thin 3M red tape, which usually does a fairly good job of sticking down. What I'd probably almost recommend with this is some LCD adhesive. I can't quite remember the model number off the top of my head. Don't have any on hand. But due to the relatively thin amount of contact between the LCD or the glass frame and the actual body of the phone, there's not much really to tape down. So I will do what I can do. I'll tape where I can and keep going with the install from there. I'm happy with the tape. I've removed the, well, I've got the tape prepped and ready to go. Now I just want to lightly press around the screen to make sure there's no glass or no metal that's going to hit that's going to foul onto the new replacement screen and then cause it to crack. But right now this is feeling pretty good, so I'll keep pushing it down all the way around. And now I'll start to do the reinstall. With the reinstall, there's really not much that you should really note. It's basically the reverse of what you just did. Just make sure you connect up the battery last. Another thing you could do here as well, with the screen currently in its position, connect up the power and just give it a quick test and make sure the touch is good on it, rather than fully reassembling the phone and finding out there's an issue. So that's one other tip for here. But other than that, I'll proceed with the reinstall and all should be sweet. So I'm going to catch you later from here, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope this helps you out, and I'll catch you in the next one.